last video, I was talking about how my snake never bit me. Well, that evening, the motherfucker bit me. Oh my god. What an idiot. Like, so he's a 3.5 foot long constrictor. You know, his head is about the size of a large grape, or maybe you could even say the size of a avocado pit, but like a small one. You know, he's not a big guy, and so it hurt a little bit, no big deal. What happened was, we feed him with these tongs, right? These they're like really big tweezers, and he you know, he can see, but a lot of what they use to target stuff is thermal. They have thermal vision through these like thermal sensors above their top lip, and so sometimes he gets, it's kind of my fault. He gets confused in the spot that I feed him. That's where his heating lamp is. And then you've got me, which is, I'm warm. He sees me, he sees my arm, my hand. Oh, looks like we can't go through it all now. All right, we'll go around. Redoing that road. So yeah, he sees me, he sees his lamp, and then he also sees the mouse. I'm moving, the mouse is dead. It's frozen. I mean, it's not frozen when I give it to him. It's thawed out and warmed up, but I get how he got confused. So my wife saw it before I did. He's coiling up, getting ready to strike, but then he turns to my arm and goes, "Yaw!" Grabs me right on my ring finger on the right hand, and then immediately pulls, right? And since I'm infinitely heavier than him, when he makes that pulling action, all he really does is a pull-up. You know what I mean? So he pulls himself up to my arm and coils himself around. Coils himself around my arm. And it starts to squeeze. Well, you can't, you know, I'm not a huge dude, but I'm bigger than that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm bigger than that snake is. We'll go through town. I got time today. So, like, coils around my arm and tries to squeeze me because he's too, you know, he's dumb. He's a snake. He's got a little tiny snake brain, little retard brain. And so, so I'm starting to freaking panic. I'm like, oh fuck, you know. And meanwhile, I have my headset on. I'm getting ready to play video games with my buddy. I've got open mic in my room. Like, my headset doesn't have a microphone on it. I have a standalone. Microphone, and he can hear all this fucking hoopla in the background, and yeah, so I'm screaming, fuck, fuck, fuck. My wife's like, God damn it, what the fuck? I'm like, oh fuck, what the fuck? So I pull, you know, I as he's coiling around me and starting to squeeze, I'm walking into the kitchen and I'm going over the countertop. Meanwhile, I'm just dripping blood onto the countertop. You know, my wife doesn't know what to do. I'm not really sure exactly yet either. I haven't figured out like the geometry on like how to get him out, because his fangs are like this, right? And as he like opens his jaw to, you know, pull me in, it's just going like this and pulling me tighter and tighter. And I'm just like, well, shit. And so all I can think about is just like, or all I can think to do is just kind of wait. So I feel bad. I wasn't angry. I was more just kind of like panicking, because it wasn't about me, because it stopped hurting after about 15 seconds. It didn't hurt anymore. Just because my body was just like fucking whatever. I mean, I'm starting to get hot and sweat because I'm in like the zone, trying to, you know, think as hard as I can, which for me not very, yeah, I'm not a smart dude. I'm not a good thinker. Like Philip J. Fry says in Futurama, it's like a headache with pictures. So, anyway, I tell my wife, hey, I need you to go get the other tongs, because the tongs I was using fell into its cage. So she goes and grabs the other tongs, and I'm telling her basically, like, put it in his mouth, because he's upside down at this point. Put it in his mouth and, like, let go, so that way the tongs kind of open up. Just so he, you know, because it's cold and hard, hopefully he'll kind of, like, get the point here. And eventually he does, and I can feel that he starts to kind of protract his teeth a little bit. And, but I mean, that doesn't get him all the way out. So I reach in with my other finger, because I'm super duper big brain. I reach in with my other hand's finger, this one, to try to pry it open, but I forgot he's got these little barbs in there with his teeth. They're not fully retracted yet, and I get stuck with my other fucking finger in his mouth. So now I've got I've got 2.5 fingers in this motherfucker's mouth, which is not a big mouth, but they open their mouths up like that, you know what I mean? Anyway, I get my hand out, and he starts panicking and freaking out. He's like, ah! So I grab him behind his neck, you know, I'm pinching right behind his head, and I'm holding him out this way. I mean, he doesn't spit venom, he's a constrictor, he's nothing crazy. And he's freaking out, ah! And I'm like, go back in your cage, fucking idiot. So I put him back in his cage. Since he was in defensive mode, I had to do it real quick, so I kind of feel bad how I just plopped him in there, but he's fine. And so I go in the bathroom, I start cleaning up. I text my manager, I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know I got bit by a snake just now. I'll let you know if I, like, I don't know, die or something, because I've never been bit by him before. And I know he's not venomous, but I didn't know if I was going to have some sort of reaction or what. So anyway, I pop a freaking damn, I pop a Benadryl, little Benny and Jerry's Benadryl and a shot of vodka, just in case. And man, that put me on my ass though. Anyway, yeah, I rinsed it off, you know, dabbed alcohol on it and all this other shit, you know, rubbing alcohol, not vodka. And, I'm gonna yawn. So, yeah, I'm okay. I mean, you see the little, yeah, no swelling happened. I didn't sweat any more than just that initial, like, adrenaline sweat that I had. Yeah. Fucking fucking idiot. Fucking idiot. Oh man, I mean him and me. You know, I should have saw that coming. Because he struck at me before and I dodged it. But I just thought it was funny that same day, I was telling you guys about, you know, how I went and got him mice or rats or whatever to feed him, and he's never bit me before, and then that same evening he fucking bites me. Now, my wife had a hognose snake, 2 of them at one point, and those are different. Hognose snakes, they're really small and they're really dumb. They bury themselves and they're just kind of, it was cool. They're like tunnel in their substrate. So you have to use a very special substrate so you don't get something called compaction, where you get a bunch of their substrate gets stuck in their fucking, like, it blocks their nose and it blocks their mouth, and then they choke and then they die because they're dumb. So they were fun to keep alive. We kept them alive for, we had them like 1.5 years or something like that, 2 years. And eventually my wife's like, okay, that's enough. She was gonna breed them, but yeah, anyway. So that one, the male bit me one time. It was while I was trying to find him so that way we could clean its substrate. And he found me first. So he bites me, and hognose snakes are venomous. They have a necrotic venom, I guess you could call it. I'm not sure about the technical term, but it basically, so when they attack their prey, which is usually baby mice or really small things, they inject this venom into them, which causes them to basically bleed out and die from the inside. It just poisons the shit out of them, you know, like they can't move anymore, like it paralyzes them. Like their skin turns, like they turn black. It's really gross, really cool. Yeah, that one was a bitch. I was able to get him out without hurting either of us. Oh yeah, my other snake that bit me yesterday, he's unhurt, as far as I could tell. That was my biggest concern, was just making sure that he wasn't hurt. You know, I was like, worst case scenario, if he doesn't let go, I've got to kill him. But when I do that, he'll bite down harder. You know, so anyway, the hognose. Yeah, so I ended up getting, it was like on my right hand, it was like my knuckle or something like that. And, yeah, so I got all swollen, my hand started turning weird, you know, dark red from the inflammation and all this other shit. And yeah, I was worried I was gonna have to go in and have a finger chopped off or something, and remove my hand, or partially remove some of the dead tissue. But everything was okay. I didn't suffer any nerve damage, nothing crazy. It was just swollen for a couple of days. It was really hot to touch. So, you know, all I could really do was take Benadryl, antihistamine, and that's it. I couldn't work out for that week. So yeah, it was kind of rough, but you'd think I'd learned my fucking lesson, but here I am, Big Brain Tango. That's what they call me. Big Brain Smart Boy. And yeah, so we're off work for the morning. We're gonna go home and set up a calendar for my son. He would like to start earning allowance. It's about time anyway, because he's old enough now where we're gonna start piling on more responsibility. So there's also a game he wants to buy for the Xbox, and I'm like, listen, I'm not buying you any more shit. You gotta earn that shit. He's like, well, am I old enough for allowance? I'm like, fuck yeah, you're old enough for allowance. So I'm thinking for starters, we're gonna do like $10 a week or something like that, so that way he kind of learns that he has to save, instead of like, okay, after this week you get a game. No, I don't think so. That's too fast, I think. So I would $10 a week. I think the game he wants is like $20, so, or $30. So 2 or 3 weeks. And you know, when he does eventually get that money, buy that game, there's that reward, there's that sense of accomplishment on top of, you know, hey, what I did actually matters, and dad appreciates it, mom appreciates it. So yeah, I'm gonna go write up like a thing, and yeah, I'm pretty hopeful for that. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat some food. I'm hungry, and I love you. Thank you for watching. Please don't be like me and don't get bit by snakes, especially venomous ones. It's not fun, and I'll talk to you in the next video.